Good evening. Below are listener-friendly, concise summaries of today's top stories, presented topic by topic. Topic 1. Geopolitical tensions around Iran and energy market impacts. Geopolitical friction between the U.S. and Iran, including mutual maritime blockades and repeated reports of ship seizures and attacks, has drastically reduced tanker and cargo traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, while ceasefire arrangements remain fragile and could unravel. Dow CEO Jim Fitterling warned that even if the strait reopens, logistics normalization could take some 275 days or more due to vessel recovery and sea lane remediation, implying several quarters to return to normal. The disruption is estimated to affect roughly 20% of oil production and up to 50% of ethylene polyethylene output, with about 40% of naphtha flows for Asian and European petrochemical plants transiting the strait. Feedstock and plastics prices have jumped month to month. Markets reacted sharply. Brent climbed above $100 to around 105.7 WTI, near 95 and 85s, about a 3% rise, fueling inflation and central bank concern as policymakers weigh energy-driven price pressures. Topic 2. China, open models and AI geopolitics, plus big tech moves. Chinese startup DeepSeek previewed V4, an open model claiming far greater agent and large context capabilities, commercial and flash variants with up to 1 million token context windows, and emphasizing use of domestic chips such as Huawei's Ascend 950 and Cambricon to reduce NVIDIA dependency. It positions itself strong on agent coding and broad knowledge while acknowledging remaining gaps versus the very top U.S. models. U.S. officials accuse Chinese entities of large-scale distillation that extracts and imitates outputs from U.S. models like OpenAI and Anthropic, warning of illicit mass extraction, potential sanctions, and coordinated information sharing. China calls such claims baseless. At the same time, Meta announced a roughly 10% workforce reduction, even as it pledges billions more for AI investment, illustrating the tension between aggressive AI spending and corporate restructuring. Topic 3. Major employers reshaping for AI and related security debates. Meta will cut about 8,000 roles, roughly 10% of headcount, eliminate roughly 6,000 open positions, and offer severance packages that include a minimum of 16 weeks' pay, plus additional weeks by tenure, healthcare continuation, and job immigration support. The company also faces internal controversy over tools that collect employee activity logs for AI purposes. Nike is trimming about 1,400 mainly technology roles, under 2% of its workforce, citing supply chain consolidation and automation-driven efficiency. Broadly, big tech, including Microsoft, Amazon, and Oracle, are reallocating toward AI infrastructure and talent while pruning workforces for efficiency, and political security concerns intensify as U.S. OSTP warns of foreign distillation campaigns that could strip safety controls from replicated models. In parallel, the U.S. Department of Defense awarded roughly $24 million for trials of a phantom humanoid robot, a program backed by some political figures as essential to combat readiness, but raising ethical, control, and proliferation worries. Topic 4. DOJ ends criminal probe of Fed chair and implications. The U.S. Department of Justice, led by the federal prosecutors overseeing Washington, D.C., has closed the criminal investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell after months of inquiry and without finding evidence sufficient for prosecution, while urging the Fed's internal watchdog to pursue audit inquiries into renovation cost overruns. A federal judge had earlier questioned the basis for some subpoenas constraining the probe, and prosecutors warned they could reopen the matter if new evidence emerges. The closure removes a significant legal overhang around the Fed chair and is likely to ease market and political uncertainty, reopening the path for Senate consideration of nominees such as Kevin Warsh after some Republican senators had withheld act.